We're joined now from County Durham by Victoria's brother, Chris Foote-Wood. Good morning to you this morning, Chris. Thank you so much for joining us. We're all so sorry for your loss, and I imagine at this very sad time, it's been extraordinary to see the outpouring of love and warmth from so many people who remember your sister so fondly.
Yes, indeed. I mean, obviously it's very sad for the family, particularly for Victoria's two children, and from the point of view of myself as her brother and our two sisters. I mean, I'm the eldest of the four. Victoria's the youngest, 13 years younger than me, and yet of the four of us, she's the first to go, and that's a very great shock. But I think over and above that, it's quite obvious that Victoria is even more loved by the public than perhaps we thought she was, because in all the years that she's been working in her various endeavours, the public have really taken her to their hearts, and everything that she's done in the last 30 years certainly has been very popular, and people remember Victoria and they remember her particular performances, and that's a wonderful thing. I count myself as Victoria's biggest fan. I was always bragging about her, especially in the early days, and when she went on New Faces with this very unusual act as a young woman singer-songwriter, not the sort of thing that might grab the headlines, and yet she managed to win with that and also make a very big impact with the public. And I'm bound to say that I was always bragging and boasting about it, because I'm so proud and so privileged to have such a genius in the family, and it's been my great honour to see her, particularly from the earliest days when she struggled quite a lot to come across, because let's remember, she didn't become famous overnight. She had quite a few years of struggle and difficulty, but it's a credit to her absolute determination to push through and win her career through sheer hard work. Of course, she had the genius that was there right from the start, but it was her character that pulled her through and eventually brought her to the situation where everybody knows her and knows what she's done.
Chris, one thing people didn't know, which is one of the reasons it came as such a shock yesterday, was that she had actually been ill with cancer. The papers describe it as a secret battle. Was it very important to her that it was kept private and that other people didn't know?
Yes, well, remember that Victoria was a very private person. She was very adamant that her private life was kept separate, particularly with regard to bringing up her two children, and I do admire the fact that Victoria made sure that she was a proper mother to her children, that she was there for them, especially when they were young, and she would arrange her schedules and her work, which are very demanding schedules. She would always make sure that she was there for her children and that they were sheltered from what might have been over-intrusive media, and I think she did that very successfully. And when it came to her final illness, she was absolutely determined that it should not leak out, that it should be kept very private with her and her immediate family, and obviously her wishes were complied with, and that's why in some respects it was such a shock when we found that she'd died, because very few people knew that she had a terminal illness.
Yeah, it's incredibly sad, Chris, for everybody, not least for you and your family. Our thoughts are with you and for Victoria's two children as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're looking forward to speaking to you again. We're going to be hearing more from Chris at about 8:20. But for the time being, Chris Foote-Wood, Victoria Wood's older brother, thank you.
Thank you.